was the Open Cup in 2003. They lost 1-0. There was the MLS Cup final that was played in 2008. Columbus defeating them by the final score of 3-1. This team and this head coach has put all of that in its rearview mirror. Supporters Shield and the regular season championship to the New York Red Bulls.
It's been a fascinating time, an adventure. Some would even describe it as a roller coaster ride, with the highs and the lows. But now when we reflect back on it, there's a number of things which of course were fantastic. Number one is that for the first time ever, this club won a title. So to get that stigma away from us was fantastic. I think the second thing for me would be that during that year, first of all, we've got a whole lot of new staff. Mike is the head coach, and Robin is his assistant, and Rafa is the goalkeeping coach. With all these new members of staff, and with a whole lot of new players as well. There was 16 changes to the roster last year. Now, with all of that going on, then to get some kind of family feeling about the place, to get some stability, was really important. We'd said from day one that we wanted to be humble, hard-working and professional, and I think over the year that we saw that. I think the next thing I have to say is about the supporters. I think our fans here, the fan base we had was fantastic, and the atmosphere that they created at many of the games, I just need to think of the last league match, when we played Chicago, it was just amazing. I think also the preparation of the team. Now, one of the significant elements of that is that for the first time ever, this club had its own training ground. The training methods, the scouting that we did on the opposition, all sorts of elements, but mainly being in our own environment, having our own training facility. There's no doubt that the preparation of their team improved. There is definitely a winning mentality here. There's a fighting spirit. And I just need to think of the game that we played earlier in the year when we played Salt Lake, when we were 3-2 down with 2 minutes to play and we still won the game. Or I think of the fact that it was 95 minutes gone and we're playing here and we're 2-1 down to New England and Tim equalised. I think it was 96 minutes when he finally did it. You just need to think about some of those ones. LA, when we scored in the last minute of the game. So this was a team that never gave up. It's the kind of Vince Lombardi line. This was one of these teams that, we never lost. We just ran out of time. Well, it's very difficult. Your first year as a head coach is very difficult. It's one thing being a youth coach or being an assistant, but when you're the head coach, you've got responsibility. So a lot of people have got opinions. They voice opinions all over the place. But unless you're actually the head coach, then you don't really know what it means, that, because your opinion becomes a decision, and therefore, you've got to back your judgment. And so, Mike, one thing with Mike is he's got a very strong personality. He is somebody, he's got a charisma about him. He speaks very well, but he's also strong. He was strong as a player, and he's strong in the sense that mentally, he'll make the decision and he'll stick with it. And that he showed in a difficult first year. He showed that he was willing to stand up and be counted, and he himself would be the first to admit, that over this year it has been very much a learning process, but it has been an upward trend in terms of learning, in terms of getting to know the business and getting to handle that business. And you can tell when Mike's speaking to the players, then there is no doubt who's in charge.